Hello wonderful students, myself Dr. Maddineni Srinivas, Dermatology faculty from Bharat. So in this video we are going to look at the topic psoriasis from undergraduate exam point of view. So this was already asked recently in various examinations. So this is how it was asked in the form of a clinical case vignette. So you need to know about this topic in greater detail. So I am going to discuss it in the greater detail. So this was also from MBBS University. So this is how the question will be asked. So a patient coming with well demarcated erythematous plaques and silvery white mica like scales over the elbows and also over the skull. So all these are pointing towards a very classical diagnosis of plaque psoriasis, chronic plaque psoriasis, which is also called as psoriasis vulgaris, where vulgaris term simply means that it is a most common type of psoriasis. Okay, remember psoriasis, it is of various types, out of which psoriasis vulgaris is the most common variety. And you are able to see the mica like scales which are present over the erythematous plaques and which are present mainly over the extensor surfaces, the lumbosacral area and also the knee, and also over the elbows the lesions can be seen. Now coming to the etiology, remember few important points. It is a autoimmune condition. Psoriasis is an autoimmune condition where there is going to be first autoimmunity in the dermis, which is going to produce the multiplication, rapid keratinocyte cell multiplication in the epidermis, leading to inflammation, and clinically there will be scaly patches and irritation will be there. And so like I have already told you, it is a chronic autoimmune condition and it is also having a genetic component. So what are the genetic components which you need to remember? It is SORS1 gene and HLA-CW6. These are the important genetic associations which you need to remember. Coming to the triggering factors, this is also important. There are various triggers which you need to remember. So which can have a significant role in the expression of the psoriasis clinically, that is the severity and also how the patient is presenting clinically. All these are going to depend upon different etiological environmental triggers. So for example, there is one phenomenon which is called as Koebner's or Koebner's isomorphic phenomenon, where after the trauma over the skin, because of the underlying autoimmunity, the lines of the trauma, along the lines of the trauma, there is going to be development of similar lesions, okay, looking like psoriasis. Psoriasis like lesions will be developing. Infections group A beta hemolytic streptococcus, it is associated with gutted psoriasis, where raindrop like psoriatic lesions are going to be developed in children, and there will be history of sore throat in these children. And smoking, alcohol, stress, all of them can aggravate, and also there are certain drugs which can trigger psoriasis. What are those? Lithium, which is used in psychiatry, beta blockers, NSAIDs, ACE inhibitors. These are all the medications which can trigger psoriasis. Coming to the pathogenesis, like we have already told, there is going to be a autoimmunity in the dermis which is going to produce the proliferation of the keratinocytes. Because of which what will happen, the usual time taken for a normal cell to proliferate, divide, it is 311 hours, but in the patients of psoriasis it is going to reduce to 36 hours. So there will be rapid cell multiplication which is going to lead to clinically the scales being visible in the form of mica like silvery white scales. And of course there is inflammation, like we have already told. There is going to be a collection of the neutrophils in the stratum corneum, which we call it as Monro's microabscess. And dilated tortuous blood vessels can be seen in the dermal papillae. So coming to the histopathology, you can write down few important points related to histopathology. This is also important for you to remember. So first you need to remember there are 4 layers of the skin which you have to label. So stratum corneum, stratum granulosum, stratum spinosum and stratum basal. Finally stratum basal. Okay, so in the stratum corneum what we are going to see, there is going to be thickening of the stratum corneum which is called as hyperkeratosis, and there will be retention of the nucleus in the stratum corneum or persistence of the nucleus in the stratum corneum, which is called as parakeratosis. And like I have already told you, there is going to be a collection of the neutrophils in the stratum corneum which is called as Monro's microabscess. In the stratum granulosum, just remember there is going to be either absence of the stratum granulosum or there will be reduced thickness of stratum granulosum. In the spinosum, again there will be a collection of neutrophils. Now this is called as spongiform pustules of Kogoch. So these names are also important. Spongiform pustules of Kogoch is a collection of neutrophils in the stratum spinosum. Now coming to the stratum basal, just remember the rete ridges, they are going to be elongated rete ridges which will be seen, and these are all, this is looking like a camel foot. Okay, so it is also described as camel foot appearance of the rete ridges. And in the dermal papilla you are able to see that there are dilated blood vessels, and here you are able to see these are the collection of the neutrophils present in the stratum spinosum, and this is the collection of the neutrophils in the stratum corneum, Monro's microabscess. So now coming back to the clinical features, plaque. What are the characteristics of the plaques which we are seeing in psoriasis patients? So they are very well defined, sharply demarcated, a very red looking erythematous plaques which are covered with thick silvery white micaceous scales. And common sites are extensors, say remember elbows, knees, and also they can be scales can be present over the scalp also. And there is one important sign which is called as Auspitz sign. So when you try to remove the scales which are present, there is going to be ultimately pinpoint bleeding which will be noted. This is what is called as Auspitz sign, or this you can also write it as Grattage test. And this is a hallmark for the psoriasis vulgaris. So what are the nail changes? So you should also write few other changes apart from skin. In the nail you should remember the most common finding, which is the depressions in the nail plate which are called as pitting. Pitting of the nails is very characteristic, okay, and most common. And what is the most characteristic and pathognomonic sign of psoriasis in the nails? It is oil drop sign, which is also called as salmon patch. And there can be separation of the nail plate from the nail bed, which we call it as onycholysis, and also material which is present below the nail plate, it is called as subungual hyperkeratosis. And also we can see thickening of the nails. So here you are, in this picture you are able to see small depressions, these are called as pits, and this you are able to see the nail plate is separating from the underlying nail bed, so this is called as onycholysis. And here you are able to see this yellowish discoloration present below the nail plate. This is what is called as oil drop sign or salmon patch. So all these findings are very important for you to remember. So like we have already told, in the triggering factors, trauma may produce lesions looking like the psoriasis along the lines of the trauma. This is what is called as Koebner's phenomenon. So you can see here the picture depicting the Koebner's phenomenon. Along the lines of the trauma there is development of similar lesions which are looking like psoriasis. Not only psoriasis is the inflammation of the skin, but also there can be inflammation of the joints also. So psoriatic arthritis is also important, where 5 to 30% of patients may develop the arthritis. So what are the different types of psoriasis? You need to just remember what are the names. So plaque type is the most common, which is also called psoriasis vulgaris. So gutted, I have already told you, in children after the sore throat due to group A beta hemolytic streptococcus, there can be small raindrop shaped lesion which are present over the body. This is gutted psoriasis. Inverse psoriasis, very simple. If the flexural sites are having the psoriatic lesions, so we call it as inverse psoriasis or flexural psoriasis, and the characteristic point is that it will lack scaling. There will not be any scaling. If the patient is developing sterile pustules all over the body, we call it as pustular psoriasis. And if there is erythema and scaling which is associated with more than 90% body surface area, we call it as erythrodermic psoriasis. So here these are some of the pictures where you are able to see this is a patient of inverse psoriasis or flexural psoriasis. So these are some of the other pictures where you are able to see there is no scaling present. And this is a patient of gutted psoriasis where you are able to see raindrop like lesions which are present over the body. And this is a patient of the pustular psoriasis where there are lakes of pus which are present. And this is a patient of erythrodermic psoriasis where you are able to see erythema and scaling which is present more than 90% of the body surface area. Coming to the differential diagnosis, just remember seborrheic dermatitis. If there is scaling over the scalp, there is a close differential which is seborrheic dermatitis. If the lesions are present over the body, you should think of tinea corporis, but tinea corporis it is associated with itching because it is a fungal infection due to dermatophytes. Lichen planus, so there is going to be presenting with 5 P's. I hope all of you have watched the video. I have made a lichen planus video already. And systemic lupus erythematosus also could be one of the differences. So just remember what are the names of all these conditions. So if this video was helpful, guys, please do hit that like button. Do not just watch the video and forget. विचार में बह के मत भूल जाना, एक लाइक तो बनता है. And coming to the management, remember patient education reassurance is very important because psoriasis is a very chronic condition. Okay, educate the patient about chronic nature of the psoriasis. Very irritating condition both for patient as well as the doctor. Okay, because one patient may respond very well to one medication, but on the other hand, one patient may not respond to even the strongest of the oral medications, systemic medications. Okay. And of course, lifestyle modification, okay, triggers smoking, alcohol, stress, reduce. This is what is a thing which we have to advise. Topical therapy, just remember the names: emollients, moisturizers, scaling will be reduced, embarrassment will be reduced in the community. Coal tar, okay, it is an anti-proliferative and it is usually combined with the ultraviolet therapy, UV therapy. Anthralin or diethranol, it is again an anti-proliferative agent. So vitamin D analog, calcipotriene, calcipotriol, these are going to reduce the scaling and thickness of the scales. Topical corticosteroids can be used in the patients. If the body surface area involvement is up to 10%, we can safely use the topical corticosteroids, which are going to reduce the inflammation. Okay. And phototherapy is one form of treatment where the ultraviolet rays are used for the therapeutic purposes, and I have made a video on this. You can check out the link. I will put it in the iCard, also in the comments and description. You can check that out. Coming to the systemic therapy, there are various medications: methotrexate, the acetretin, and also cyclosporin. These are all the medications which are used for the patients of the psoriasis. So like I have already told you, so the POA therapy I have already explained. So these are some of the medications which you need to remember. Methotrexate is the drug of choice for the patients of psoriasis vulgaris, psoriatic arthritis, and also erythrodermic psoriasis. So here you are able to see the picture methotrexate. And if you remember what is the mechanism of action of the methotrexate, put that in the comment section. So next medication is the oral retinol acetretin, and it is particularly useful in the patients of pustular psoriasis. So remember students, steroids are strictly contraindicated in the patients of psoriasis. If the body surface area involvement is less than 10%, topical steroids can be safely used, but oral steroids should never be used in the patients of psoriasis because it can trigger, if the steroids are suddenly withdrawn, the patient may go into more severe forms of the psoriasis, which are pustular psoriasis and erythrodermic psoriasis. But if a patient who is pregnant is presenting with the pustular psoriasis, which is called as impetigo herpetiformis. So pustular psoriasis in pregnancy is called as impetigo herpetiformis. Or if a pregnant woman is presenting with erythroderma, we cannot use methotrexate and acetretin because they are teratogenic. So in that case, we are going to utilize the steroids as the drug of choice. But steroids are also contraindicated. Then we can use the cyclosporin, which is a calcineurin inhibitor, as a second line drug of choice. And remember some of the adverse drug reactions or adverse effects of the treatment modalities used in the psoriasis. So PUA therapy has an increased chance of the patient going into squamous cell carcinoma of the skin. Cyclosporin, it can be nephrotoxic and it can also increase the blood pressure. Methotrexate, it is a teratogenic medication and it is also hepatotoxic. Acetretin, remember it is a teratogenic and it can also, just like the isotretinoin, derange the lipid profile. There are certain new medications called as apremilast and tofacitinib, which if you can write them, the examiner is going to be impressed. So already if you have written so much, the examiner will be more than impressed, but if you can remember the biological agents, that will be even more good. You are going to cross the distinction level. So TNF alpha inhibitors, etanercept and infliximab, so these can be used, and ustekinumab, just remember the name, secukinumab, guselkumab, risankizumab, tilrakizumab, these are all the biological agents, monoclonal antibodies which can be used in the patients of psoriasis. Investigation diagnosis of the psoriasis is primarily clinical, so but if you are having any doubt history wise, physical examination will help, and biopsy can be done to confirm the diagnosis, and X-rays and MRI may be required if the patient is having arthritis. So to summarize, psoriasis is basically a autoimmune condition which is having various triggers, genetic and environmental triggers, where the management is going to include mainly the lifestyle changes. Topical and systemic therapies are available. Biologics are also available, that is monoclonal antibodies. Each treatment plan should be individualized. Depending upon the patient response, we have to tailor the treatment. And okay, so this is about the psoriasis. So I hope this video was helpful. If it was helpful, please do hit that like button, and there are the telegram groups links are present in the description, also first comment. You can check them out and join, and after the completion of this video, try to discuss among your friends. So share this video, let them watch, and you discuss among yourselves about these topics which were already covered, psoriasis. So all this playlist I'm putting the links in the description, also first comment, check them out. And these are the other questions which were asked from dermatology in the medicine paper. So syphilis, rosacea, which topic do you want me to cover in the next video? Please put that in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching this video till this point. I hope you have gained so much of value. So if the value is great, then please do hit that like button, and also do subscribe to my YouTube channel for all this kind of latest awesome dermatology videos. Thank you so much. Happy learning. Sarvam Sri Krishna Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu. Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu. Bye bye.